Bourbonbarkeep. Curtis.
Noah, great to be here as always, man. Good to see you.
Big day.
It's a big day.
Big day. We enjoyed the Remus Repeal 7. I've been looking forward to the 8. Kind of a little anxiety about it because 6 was supposedly a dud.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, man, I love 7. I hope 8 is what I need it to be.
I've heard whispers, rumblings, that the 8 is even better than the 7, which we did enjoy a ton. So
Rumblings above whispers?
well, they're really just rumors,
Whoa.
but loud and quiet.
Wow.
Some people just talk louder, so those are the rumblings. Like we said, man, I've been looking forward for some time. Just finally found it today. You and I both got a bottle, which is nice.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's not a waste of $90.
You know what? Sometimes you just roll the dice and you're like, or I could have tasted it first. But now, diving in, Remus Repeal 8. This first debuted, what would that be, 2017?
Yeah.
Batch 1. That was a proof of 94.
Okay.
And then 2 through 7 amped it up to 100. And then Ian Sturzman, master distiller at Ross and Squibnall.
Yeah.
A friend of the channel, by the way. He talked to us one time, so now I know where he sleeps and what he smells like.
Dear friend of the channel, yeah.
Dear friend.
Talked to him once.
He does not know it,
Yep.
but he is. He was like, you know what? I'm going to ramp this thing up. 101 proof, freaking madman.
101 proof, man.
How's he do that?
This is going to make really all the difference, at least in my humble opinion. The 100 to 101 is a giant step up just in terms of like the way you think about a bottle.
Absolutely. I mean, Walt Disney didn't stop at 100 Dalmatians.
Right.
He did 101.
That's right. Maybe that was the goal here.
Obviously.
Surprised there's no reference to that on the bottle anywhere, but.
No. But I love the bottle. I'm excited to taste. Do you want to go into any of the specs? I feel like the people are here for
Yeah, I mean, the specs are on the bottle, which is cool too, so you don't have to go searching. As you said, 101 proof. MSRP is $90. That's what we found it for today. You might have to pay 100 if you're a liquor store stingy. We'll tell you at the end if 100s are worth it. So it's a medley. There are 3 different bourbons in here.
Love a good medley.
9% is a 2007 bourbon. So we're talking 17, 8-year bourbon, depending on when that was barreled. And that is a 21% rye. Next we have a 2014 bourbon. 24% of this is the 2014 bourbon, and that is also a 21% rye.
Correct.
And then last but not least, 67% of this medley is another 2014 bourbon, but that one is a 36% rye.
Pop
so
that rye up.
Most of this is a high rye bourbon, expecting to pick up some of those baking spices that you typically get in the high rye stuff.
Well,
So,
don't spoil it.
well, I'm just expecting it.
Don't spoil
Just
it.
expecting it.
All right. Without further ado, do we do anything else?
No, we don't. We choose you guys. Thanks for being here. If this is your first time, we hope you enjoy the content. Like and subscribe if you would. If this is not your first time, if you have come back a handful of times now, thank you for that. We appreciate it.
Yeah, commit. Subscribe.
Sure.
To
you.
Here we are. Whew. Remus Repeal.
Yeah.
Dear Father, that's a nice nose.
Yeah.
That is cherry cola.
Some baking spices, like I said, I was hoping to get, considering the 67% of that medley is that high 36% rye.
Yeah, I would say a fair amount of oak presence, but still a brightness that comes through and like a nice peppermint.
Sure. Yeah, there's a little bit of like nuttiness, almost like a pecan or like an almond, but not necessarily a salted nut.
Oh, like a run over nut? Or
It's
like
just like an unsalted pecan,
I don't know. For how sweet this goes, it's tough not to just venture into the candied
The candied
avenue.
pecan? Yeah.
Candied hallway, maybe?
Sure.
I would say decent amount of pecan coming out. I think you nailed that nut. Way to know your nuts.
Yeah, sure.
And then a cherry cola forward, diving in with nice oak, touch of cinnamon.
Yeah.
Really here for this.
Sure. All right, man.
Ooh, buddy. That is
Wow.
silky smooth.
That's very smooth. That finish is, that's an awesome finish. That's still going as I speak. So I'm kind of ruining it for myself. That's on me. But, that's a very nice long finish, especially at 101 proof. You're not talking anything, up there 115, 120, that where you're expected to kind of get your socks blown off. But for 101, that's a very nice finish.
Yeah, you feel it the whole way down, but not overly warming. It's definitely not that aggressive anti-hug that you have no business hugging that hard.
Right.
Very mouth coating, at least on the tongue. I still feel like that cherry cola comes through.
The cherry continues for sure.
It does kind of snip snap to like a nice leather and tobacco.
Yep, down the end especially is like that wallet type of like smell.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like you smell a wallet, but it also kind of translates to your palate too without actually putting it in your mouth.
Yeah, it's odd how you
works.
know exactly what that wallet tastes like without ever licking it.
Sure.
And sometimes you do lick it, and then Nordstrom's like, "Hey!"
A quick little second visit.
I mean, sip 2, things always come out a little bit more.
Yeah.
It always evolves. I don't think it'll be spicier, which is kind of bittersweet.
Mm-hmm. A little more of the baking spices come out there, like your cinnamon and your clove and your nutmeg. On second sip, maybe I was just focused a little too much on talking through my finish last time to actually pick that up, but I got it this time.
That's true. No one likes when you talk through a finish, but you give the people what they need and what they want.
That is just a very good bourbon.
It got sweeter. I love it. It does get a little candy bar. What candy bar, you ask? Probably like what's the one? It's a lot of chocolate, a lot of caramel. I'm kind of tempted to say Twix. I may go Twix on
There's
this one.
Twix, there's a wafer in there. I don't get any wafer.
I don't get the wafer either, but I didn't want to go Milky Way.
You could just go Rolo.
Oh,
Not really a candy bar per se, but
that's true.
bites.
I could see that.
Yeah. Okay, so as we spoke earlier about how much we enjoyed the 7, I believe we said it was both in our top 5s last year of 2023 whiskeys.
I'm pretty sure, including Bang for the Buck, mind you.
Yeah, I mean it was up there.
Yeah.
And we still do have a 7 on hand. Thank you. So let's put them up against each other. Let's see which one we like better. I mean, there were rumblings and whispers that the 8 was better than the 7, just kind of like public opinion, I should say.
Yeah.
Let's see if we agree. All right, poof. They just appeared. That was really cool.
Look at us go.
Wow, I blinked. So as we said, the 7's here. It's in my right hand now. You do the same. Yeah.
Okay.
It's in our right hand right now. And we just tried the 8, so let's move on to the 7 and we'll see.
So Ian was like, hey, I'm just kind of a mad scientist. I'm kind of like a Freddie No. I'm just mixing in 5 different things. This year, he was like, you know what? I'm just going to do 3.
Yeah.
But is less is more?
I do prescribe to the less is more notion, that motto, if you will, but we'll see.
So I can at least tell you on comparison. I got 7 over here, just so we're all keeping track at home. This is like that cinnamon cherry.
There's much more cinnamon
So much more.
and spice on here.
Yeah, this one still, you got like a nice light brown sugar, where nose-wise, the depth of what 8 has, it just goes a lot darker. Wow.
Yeah, 7's still really good. It's like you said, more in tune, because this is a high rye content as well. There's more cinnamon there and more baking spices in the 7 than the 8. However, it is more surface level on the palate. It's not near as rich and complex.
Yeah, the complexity is way down to where still kind of similar years in what's being mixed in here.
Yeah.
And 8 tastes so much older.
Yeah.
It is wild. I mean, this one goes a lot more light brown sugar, honey, caramel, and a lot of the baking spice, where 8 sticks on that cherry cola note, and I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that 7's nice. Like, that's nice on like a fall afternoon when you're kind of looking for that like cinnamon type of festive vibe.
I could see that.
But that 8 just has more to it.
Yeah, 7 is like your perfect September, October pour. So I could definitely see where you're going there. 8 is a high quality whiskey. I don't care when it is. I want to reach for a high quality whiskey. And now kind of going back to the prices, to where if they're both $100, 8 is what I want $100 to taste like.
Yeah.
Now 7, which we thought tasted like 100, now we're growing, we're maturing, and we're also comparing better stuff. This tastes more like a $75 to $80 bottle.
Yeah, it's a good segue. So let's get into grading the 8s. This is going to be on the 2024 Whiskey of the Year sheet, and let's get into grading. So we have 2 different categories we grade by, one of which being senses, and that is an all-encompassing how much we like the bourbon, regardless of price, Take into account nose, palate, finish, all the above.
Okay.
Second category is bang for the buck, and we really only take into account price in that category. How much is it? Would we pay more? Would we pay less? Would we back it up at a certain price? That type of thing.
Sure.
Senses, man. We'll do bang for the buck last. So senses, start us off.
I'm here for everything I'm tasting. You know, you try not to. I think one thing that I struggle with on some of these episodes is when it comes to some of these lower proof ones, even at 101, like I tend to mentally dock it because it doesn't have this explosion of heat.
Yeah.
And I need to get over that because this is fantastic. I wouldn't want it that much hotter. I think it's very viscous, and the hug is fantastic, especially when you're taking into account what's in here. I'm gonna go 84.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I think it's kissing that fantastic, but I'm gonna stick with it's just a great bourbon.
Yeah, I like you said, I like the fact that you said even at 101, I wouldn't want it much hotter. I think it packs plenty punch, especially on the finish too. Like there's a nice warm hug there, nothing too crazy. But the notes itself as well, like that cherry cola vibe is awesome. I was gonna go 81.
Okay.
You liked it maybe a touch more than I did, but that's still just a great whiskey. And maybe it's just one of those things to where you pick a number and I pick a number and they don't exactly match up. We may like it the same.
So, we said this was $100.
We said MSRP is 90. I said earlier you might have to pay 100 depending on your liquor store, but MSRP, if you were to look it up, is $89.99, and that's what we did pay today. So,
okay, we'll go with that.
We'll go with 90.
All right, $90. I easily got my money's worth, especially if you're talking about $90. It's a great pour.
Yeah.
I'd go up to 100.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I probably wouldn't go much north of 100. If you wanted 110 and I heard such great things as I have and haven't had a chance to try it yet, you probably could catch me in a good mood and get me to pay that. But I mean, like you said, I would spend another 10, 20 bucks for sure.
Yeah. So I think I got my money's worth. I would pay above it $10. And I feel like that's a nice tier jump.
Yep.
I'll go 73.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to go 70. Same vein. Again, maybe just a little more conservative with my numbers. But like I said, I'd go 10, 20 bucks over what it's priced. So that deserves, a nudge as well. It is a $90 bottle. So it's not like it's sitting there at the shelf, 60 bucks, to where it's a little more, a little more upscale. You do have to kind of put forth, a $100 bill after tax is not nothing. So I'm not going to sit here and say this is the greatest priced bourbon in the world, because it's not. But 70 is a really, really good score for bang for the buck.
Yeah, it's tough because there's bottles out there that are cheaper that are probably just as good. Like one of the things that comes to mind is actually the Knob Creek 12. I think you kind of have that oak and mint and things like that can stand up. That's a little cheaper. I don't think it's a full replacement. I think this is a really fun bottle. I definitely think it's one, if you saw it on the shelf, this is definitely a buy. 7 was a definite buy last time.
Yeah, and I still think it is.
It's better.
Yeah, I still think it is. This is just kind of a level up. And I do, like I said, prescribe to that less is more approach, and he kind of executed that perfectly this time around.
Yeah, I respect it. So to our best friend, Ian.
To Ian, our best friend. He doesn't know us.
He doesn't.
But anyway, man, great bottle, great find today. Like I said, we've been looking for it for, about a month now, was when we were like, it's probably coming out pretty quick here. So.
Yeah, we knew it wasn't going to be like one of those hunting ones, but we were just really excited for it. We geek out over the Great Gatsby, so this was a fantastic surprise.
To you all, to you, brother.
Pleasure.
Thanks for being here. Come on back.